Oh, look at that. You caught me drinking. Go figure. It's a pirate thing. Ladies and gentlemen, a toast to every one of our listeners that are in. We hope you're catching us for tonight at 8 o'clock on December 27th. We welcome you aboard. To the crew, Gunner Hellfire, Navigator Longwood, cheers to you.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good stuff. I changed from rum to peanut butter whiskey tonight. So I hope everybody is here, watching, and doing well and had a good Christmas. Mr. Hellfire, did you have a good Christmas?
Aye, Captain, I sure did. Nice, relaxing Christmas break.
Very good. And how about you, Mr. Longwood?
Oh, I had a very good Christmas, Captain.
Very good. Did Santa Claus bring you everything you all wanted?
Yes.
Aye.
Well, New Year is upon us. In fact, it's only 4 days away. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days away. So we thought we would do two things for you for New Year's. The first is we have a video of good old Captain Mayhem here teaching you a magic trick that might make you the hit of the party. A bar trick. So if you would, Mr. Longwood, give us a sneak of that.
Will do. What is this one?
Are we navigating poorly tonight?
Yes, we are.
There's a smudge on your glasses. Maybe that's it. And ladies and gentlemen, as he gets that back up there and makes it work, we hope that everybody will be safe for New Year's and that you only drink what you need to. This, by the way, is a video that I did in 2010. And obviously we did it at the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum. So let's see if it's going to go through.
Welcome to the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, right here in Rogue's Tavern. And you're about to get your first challenge. We be pirates and we don't want to pay for our rum on our own pocket. So I have a challenge for you to give to anyone that if they can't meet the challenge, they'll buy you your rum. That challenge be this right here. Lay a bill of any denomination on the bar. Invert a rum bottle on top of it and challenge anyone to remove the bill. If they can remove the bill without knocking the bottle over or touching the bottle in any way, the bill be theirs. But if they can't, they owe you that shot of rum. Now you be thinking it's not that easy to do, but if you think about it hard, maybe not that hard at all. Take your bill, set on the table. Roll the bill as if you were rolling your own cigarette. And as you get to the bottle, you nudge the bottle further along and further along until it comes to the end of the bill, watching closely not to knock it over, and you're not touching it. And right at the end of the bill, you can then remove the bill from the bottle, and you own the bill. Any challenger that can't owes you their shot of rum. Now think about it this way. There's one other way, a much more secretive way. You best not be trying that, but I'll show it to you anyway. If you take said bill, lay it on the bar with your bottle. Now watch closely, because this be of some scientific means. But you pull the bill to the edge of the bar. as far as you can get without knocking the bottle over. Take your favorite edged item. Bring that edged item down on the bill like this. You then own the bill. The bottle remains standing, and you've passed the challenge with 2 secrets. That be Sleight of Hook from William Mayhem, the pirate magician of St. Augustine. I.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
I like that.
you like that?
Yeah.
Pretty good, huh? I bet Gunfire or Gunner Hellfire will be using that at all the parties he goes to from now on. Yeah.
You sure bet, Captain.
Hey, you pick up some good drinks and some lovely wenches, I'm sure. So it was fun to make that. It was a plan back then that we were going to make several of them and put them out on the internet and teach people how to do pirate-themed magic. But I think we're now about to start doing that, and we'll use the podcast to do it. So if we get some good reports or some good responses to how fun that might have been, I've got several more that we'll do. We'll see what we can do with it. But it does lead us into a great segue. Segues. What is your favorite New Year's Eve memory? Best New Year's Eve memory. I will give you mine. And it is with my own lovely Cece, Kara. We had started dating Thanksgiving of '89. And on New Year's Eve of '99 into 2000, at a show that I was booked to do, she got up and got the microphone from the DJ and proposed to get married to me. So she took the first step. It would still be 4 or 5 more years before we would actually really get married, but it pretty much sunk us together. And there we are. That's my favorite memory of New Year for all of my time frame. I'd be happy to hear all of yours in just a few minutes, but I believe I want to bring on some friends of mine, crew members, mates here. And there's a picture of Mr. Mark Harrison. And when the screen comes up, you'll see his lovely wife, Melinda. And they are staunch, great members of the crew. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you very much, Captain. Appreciate it.
We're glad to have you here. This Meet the Crew thing has been a lot of fun. We may not be able to have everybody come in, but we're working out ideas that if we can't get everybody in, we're going to take their pictures and then we're going to talk about them. I mean, that'll be fun if they can't come in. What do you say there, Hellfire? Good idea?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Now, we even have plans for Sadie and Daryl and Nicole, both of them over in the European area, who, if time allows with the time change, they'll be allowed to be a part of our show, but we can bring them in via technology. So, how long have you guys been part of the crew? Do you remember?
Oh, since about 2012.
2012, so that's 9 years. 9 years a part of the crew.
Yeah, she was a crew member before I got on.
Well, you were always busy flying around the world being a playboy. Yeah, right. Mark has a very interesting job, but before we go to Mark, we're gonna talk with Melinda first. Melinda is a retired nurse, and so when we have possibilities of good discussions on medical, we get to talk with Melinda. So tell everybody a little bit about your past. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I graduated from East Carolina University back in 1979. And Mark and I got married in the middle of my schooling. And that was a bit of a challenge. My senior year I was married and went to nursing school. But it worked out. And 6 months after I got out of school, I asked Mark if I could join the Army. And he said yes, and so I dashed off before he changed his mind and signed up.
And how much time did you serve in the Army?
It was 4 years active duty, and then I did a little bit of reserve time afterwards. And the only reason I got out was we were at the point where do I make a full-blown career out of this, or do we have a family? And we decided to let God decide, let nature take its course. So I got pregnant, and somebody had to stay home.
So it would be actually appropriate at this point in time to say thank you very much for your service, as we like to do with everybody that has served military time. We thank them. Huzzah to the nurses. That's from Christy.
Well,
Yeah.
hi, Christy.
We know Christy and Adam. Well, we know Christy is watching the show. Adam's listening. So, Mark, you fly helicopters, right?
I fly both.
Yeah.
Helicopters and fixed.
And fixed wing.
Right.
Right. So, we do know that you go overseas. We do know that you go into Middle Eastern areas.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as we can really go with it, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Right
Pretty
now.
much, yeah.
I would like to say one thing though.
Go.
Melinda, when she was working with the public health department, was a lactation nurse, and she became a lactation consultant. So she worked a lot with babies that were handicapped and helped mothers and the new babies. And I was very proud of her doing that.
Well, that's very cool.
And the other thing is that when she joined the crew, I didn't join initially, but it was something that we wanted to do together, and that's when I became part of the crew. So it was a couple of years after. It was about 14 when I came
It
in.
was sooner than that. I think it was about
It was a couple,
2013,
yeah,
maybe.
13 or so.
Officially, but you were already helping out.
Yes, you were. You had been at several events, and they're very good crew members to have because they jump in and help out, and they're always there. Mark was very helpful this year on both the Halloween and the Christmas yard. I think it's just because he was bored and wasn't able to go overseas and fly, so he had to do something.
Most likely.
So he was very helpful, and one of 2 or 3 crew members that were here almost every time I needed help over here. So that was a good thing.
So I appreciate Captain keeping me on the crew because I do spend so much time gone.
Well, we have quite a few crew members that we've always said within the crew that St. Augustine Swashbucklers, work, education, health, and family are 4 of the reasons that you might be able to use if you can't participate. We understand those things. But you have to be careful nowadays because people will say, well, I got to go do this with my family. And Facebook will turn a liar into you because we've had that happen before. And then you go on Facebook and find out that they didn't have any excuse whatsoever other than the fact that they had a better party to go to. Be honest. That's all we ask, right?
Yeah.
So why do you like being a part of the crew?
I think a lot of it initially, like I said, was with Melinda to do something with Melinda. But the crew grew on me very quick. Like yourself, I appreciate your service. You're a veteran. I'm a veteran. There's a lot of crew members that were veterans. So I think there was a camaraderie there that I felt comfortable when I got into the crew. One thing that I really liked was not so much in the beginning because I didn't know how to deal with it overall, but the charity work that we did, that you do. You arrange all this, like the Christmas stuff, the Halloween stuff. A lot of the things that we did down in Edgewater and all these other facilities that we go to, I have a lot of fun doing that. I get to dress up as a pirate. I don't think I talk like a pirate yet, but maybe that'll come. I don't know. But
You never know. One day that might happen.
But I think the charity work is a big draw because what was it? A couple of years ago, we supported like 62 families. I remember we had a semi truck with all the presents
We
down at Ditch Wing.
Yeah, we had to rent I think it was an 18-foot U-Haul truck to put all the toys in, and there were 62 kids, but I think it was among 15 to 17 families. And speaking of that, we did not do that much this year, and I do want to make sure that we talk about it. It was tough the last 2 years to do charity work for people because, quite frankly, some of us needed the charity, but we still did it. And this year's charity, we affected 5 families and 2 organizations, and within those 2 organizations and 5 families, over 100 children, about 120 children got toys from us. And not just 1 toy, not just 2 toys, but we gave toys so that every kid could have 3 or 4 toys from us. That's how much we had here. And we were able to give some money to some of the families and help them out. And we just made a donation to a local family here that is having such medical issues because they had a baby born very, very, very premature. And this has caused quite a draft on their abilities to keep up with things. Well, excuse you, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Matt down on the floor coughing because he's not getting any attention, I'm sure. But we helped them out by donating to their GoFundMe page. And bad me. I should have given Davey Longwoods the information to put that page up on our podcast, but we'll make sure that we put it in our Facebook page so that people can go, and if they want to help out. But the crew donated $175 to them, and then I noticed that within a few hours of our donation, there was at least 4 or 5 other crew members that went on. I think you guys were one of them, and made a donation on the same GoFundMe page. And I believe within the first 4 hours or so of us knowing about that GoFundMe page, the crew and the crew members individually, we put about $400 or $500 on their page.
That's fantastic.
So that's really very good. Makes me very proud of the crew too. It is fun. We get to be pirates. We get to have a good time. We get to work and play with children. And this is great news. Good job, crew. Thank you very much, Christy. It is the main focal point of what we do. It really truly is to do things for others. I like the history part of it myself, but that's the other side of my pirate life, is to do that with the Pirate Museum. This timing that we do with the children is all about doing it for the children or for families and for the community. It's one of the other reasons we don't get locked in with Toys for Tots. Now, I have no disrespect for the Marines and their Toys for Tots, none whatsoever. And so many organizations will do a toy drive and call it Toys for Tots. And it's not. The Marines have a lock on that. It is legally their logo, their title, and that's theirs. The only difference between the Marines' Toys for Tot is they collect toys from all over the country, but then they send those toys to the places they need them. One thing we do here, I've always been a great supporter of the idea that we spend local money local. That means that we do local things local. So all of our toys, all of our efforts go to working with families and children in St. Johns County. There's a few others. Starcraft Gaming. Somebody new? Very good. Well, we welcome you, Starcraft. We welcome you to our podcast. Thank you very much for being a part of it. We hope you'll go and subscribe, and at the end of the show, we'll be putting in information about that. So we do a lot. Now, we do slip some things over to the other counties, like Flagler County just south of us and Duval County just north of us. We're not staunch about St. John's, but we are it is our main drive, our main goal. So what is your, put you on the spot, do you have a favorite memory of being a part of the crew?
I think one of the things for me, at least, was there was a little girl that wanted to go to Disney, and I believe it was the Make-A-Wish Foundation that we supported a couple years ago. And it was kind of neat because she always wanted to be a pirate. It was down by the Pirates Museum, if I remember correctly. And you arranged for somebody in Disney, I believe, to meet Captain Hook or something, I believe it was. And I thought that was pretty good because they sent a letter back to the crew thanking us for all that.
Right.
And that was pretty memorable.
Those kind of things are a lot of fun to do. What about you, Melinda?
I think my favorite memory is when he presented the flag to the crew.
Oh, that's
And
right.
flew in combat.
That's right. We do have, the crew has a flag that we display at some of our events. And it was flown in combat over Iraq or Afghanistan?
Both.
Both. It was flown in combat, and we proudly display that at some of our events. We're working towards a new face for St. Augustine Swashbucklers for 2022. And one of those things that we're hoping to do is either a display that we can bring out some of the things that we've earned and won, or a small camera system or a television screen system that shows pictures of those things so we don't have to cart them all over the place. Putting them on a TV screen and with video clips would be much easier than carting it all over the place, because the St. Augustine Swashbucklers won best parade float in the Celtic Festival, I believe, 5 years in a
I
row.
remember that.
5 years in a row. That's a lot of trophies to carry around. Plus, we're getting all kinds of great letters and messages from people who we help. So there you have it. So have anybody posted their best New Year's memory yet, Mr. Hellfire?
Not just yet, Captain.
All right. Well, then we'll go ahead and continue on moving along. We've introduced our crew, and we're going to allow them to stay with us while we talk about a few other things. I'm looking at the time there. We're 20 minutes into the show, and we've done real good so far. I don't think I've flubbed up anything yet. So we're good. Very good. And if you see me looking over here to the side or putting my specs on, Normally, I take the script and put it on a screen so I can watch it. And I just ran out of time today, so I'm actually doing it the old school way with a piece of paper here so I can see what I'm actually doing. So we're going to talk about crew happenings. Part of those crew happenings would be the charity work that we just did with the Christmas Village and the number of families. So we talked about that. Old City Pirate Fest, that's next on our list. That'll be the last 2 days of, or the last weekend of January 28th and 29th. And it'll be a 2-part event. The last 4 years, this would be the 6th, but we didn't do one last year. So this is now the 5th. And the first 4 years, it was a 2.5-day event. But after such a long break and going back into it, we're not doing it as a 2.5-day event. So here's the official word. We're doing it as 2 evening events. Friday night, the 28th, will be kids' night, kids and family. And we will be at the Colonial Quarter where the ship is. We will be putting a screen up, a ship sail, and we will be playing Muppet Treasure Island for the children.
Okay.
One of my favorite pirate movies, second only to Cutthroat Island. But we can't play Cutthroat Island for the kids. So we're going to play Muppet Treasure Island because we're playing a movie. It will be free for everybody to attend. Free. But we still have to come up with some ways to make some money for our charities. So we will have movie food, popcorn, hot dogs. Already talked to a hot dog vendor that wants to come in and do the hot dogs for us. We're going to do a children's only raffle. That means that all the prizes are toys. We have a few spare toys and donations that were brought to us, and we're just going to put them all on a raffle table. And the kids are going to be allowed to buy some raffle tickets, and they're going to be pretty cheap. We're thinking of making it like 3 for $1. That's it. 3 for $1.
Yeah.
And get rid of all the extra toys we have for the kids. And then the money that the kids are putting into buying their tickets goes back into our toy drive fund for next year, 2022, which is how we do everything. Every event we do, the money, once we've done the event, the money goes into our charity account, and it can't come out until we're pulling it out for charity. So then on the 29th, which is Saturday, that's adult night. As it stands right now, we're working on entertainment for the night. And I'll go ahead and announce it now. Unless something happens, we have secured Scudder the Bruce as our headline show for the night. They will be there. They've played at O'Malley's. Many of you have seen them at O'Malley's, and we've decided to give them a full stage. They're very excited to have a full stage and a full crew of audience to watch them. But we're going to do a few other entertainment venues leading up to them. I know that I've already asked Gina and the girls, so some of the girls will be dancing for us. I will MC the show. Maybe I'll do some magic. We'll see. But I have a friend in Jacksonville who is a juggler and a fire eater. I've asked him to come down and be a part of the show. And our own Adam and Christy, we're going to have them be musical guests on the show. And I am trying to get Mark Miller and Cole Miller to come and be on the show also. So it'll be a full lineup of entertainment. And there may be one other band I'm considering to put on the show. There's been conversation in the crew about yes, we will, no, we won't, that kind of a thing. So, pardon me a minute. Do me a favor and walk over there. My dog found a flashlight. Maximus. I'm seeing a flashlight all over the wall here, and I'm thinking, what the world is going on? And it's my dog playing with a flashlight. Just bring it over and put it right over here, Melinda. I'll show you.
Very bright.
This is the joy of having a basset hound, ladies and gentlemen. He got my headlamp. I don't know if he's a smart dog or if he's an aggravating dog, but there you go. Ah, I see a good memory here. My best New Year's memory would be the one of the first I shared with Adam. We went to a pub with live music, lots of dark beer, lots of fun, but the best part was the hottest guy came home with me. Oh, what a New Year's that was. Very good. Well, that sounds like a very good New Year's memory. Very good for you. So Old City Pirate Fest, the adult night, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a charge, but we're working on keeping it under $20 a person. There will be food also. We'll be advertising more after the 2nd of January. The reason after the 2nd of January, because that's our big first of year crew meeting, and I need to make sure that the entire crew is on board with the direction we're going. There are other events coming up for us. We've been asked already to perform and be a part of the Celtic Festival in March. The Order Leviathan event, the end of February, this crew has a part in. The Seafood Festival also in March. I will be going to Louisiana in April with Leon, and possibly Hellfire will be going with us. Oh, I do believe in January we're trying to work out some time to go over to Hogstown and take our cameras, our podcast cameras, and do some video of Hogstown for a while. So that leads all the way up till April. Oh, and I'll go ahead and throw this out there. The captain's birthday is the first week of May, and I've already worked it out. Now, how did that happen? Oh, I know how it happened. We can fix that. No worries. Thank you very much. We can be inviting everybody to come and spend some time poolside with me at the Embassy Suites out in the St. Augustine Beach for my birthday, the first week of May. All these dates will be posted on both our public and our private group page.
Ooh, that was fun last year, Captain, at your birthday at that beach.
It was a lot of fun. We sat there, had a good time. And pardon me while I make an adjustment to the camera. There we go. Yeah, Melinda vanished for a few minutes, but I think I know why. Either the dog or Melinda touched the tripod. So who knows, but that's all right. Hey, the joy of doing podcasts from home, our own studio. I'm not trying to be 100% staunch on professional. I'm trying to be entertaining and have a good time with all those that are watching us. Down the road, who knows what'll happen. So Melinda's back in the picture. We're good to go. Want to put a call out to two different directions. Crews. Anybody that has contact with any other crew, we'd love to do once a month. And I believe, did we decide in our meeting the other night it would be the 4th Monday of every month? Either the 3rd or the 4th. Do you remember Hellfire?
I think it was the 4th Monday of every month.
4th Monday of every month, starting in February, we would like to devote to one crew. Have them come and be a guest here in the home studio, or bring them in via the internet and have them be a guest and talk about their crew and promote their crew. We already have 3 crews we're talking with already. But we have February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. So we need about 8 more crews, give or take. So if you know anybody has a crew or is part of a crew or wants to be talking about their crew, have your captain or your promoter give us contact information and talk to us. But we have February, March, and April maybe figured out already. So we're looking already to May for the next crew. And special guests. We'd like to have special guests in. We're going to do Meet the Crew almost every week, that we have crew members that are available to come in or be a part of it. But we would like to put special guests on. Like we started in the first parts of the podcast, we had Chad Light, we had Gina Newman, we had Jan Rapp. That's 3. And the 4th one I can think of off the top of my head was we had Jason Gillette. They all had a different perspective. What's that?
And Matt Frick.
Oh, yes, and Matt Frick. So we had an author, a rum person, a dancer, a historian. I mean, we had all gambits covered, and that's what this show is all about. We'll be doing history in all shapes and sizes, and we're going to be doing that in just a few minutes. So please, if you know of anybody that would like to be a part of it, do send them along our way. We'd like to have them be a part of our show. That's a call out to possible guests and to crew. Don't be shy. We got a whole hour to put together stuff. Let's see what we can do to help you out. But let's get to history. What do you say, Mr. Longwood? History is a lot of fun, right? And it's one of the biggest requests we have. So you put together a little something.
I
Why don't
did.
you show it off to everybody?
December 27, 1979. The Soviet Union invades neighboring Afghanistan and Central Asia, beginning a decade-long occupation.
I had been in the military for 2 years at that point in time.
Soviet forces leave after the
Were you in
occupation.
the military back then?
I got
Quagmire,
permission to remember
and communist
Did you really?
superpower faces collapse. 1831, naturalist Charles Darwin sets out on a round-the-world voyage aboard the HMS Beagle. Darwin's discoveries during the almost 5-year-long journey helped form the basis of his theories on evolution and natural selection. 1932, Radio City Music Hall, home of those high-kicking dancers known as the Rockettes, opens in New York. And 1904,
My favorite.
James Barrie's play, Peter Pan, the Boy Who Wouldn't Grow Up, opens in London. The play is adapted many times for stage and screen, from Broadway to a Disney movie. Today in history, December 27th, Ross Simpson, The Associated Press.
So here's my input on all of that. I got to play Captain Hook in 2015 and 2016 for the local ballet here. So I got to be in the play. And Peter Pan is probably one of my favorite childhood stories. So in love with the whole thing. So here's a trivia question for everybody based on history. Does anybody know who played Peter Pan in the television version of, or the Broadway play that made it to TV in the 60s? Anybody know who it was? Do you?
I know it was actually a female.
It was a
actress, but I
female.
don't remember the name.
It was a female. Her name was Mary Martin. And another piece of trivia, she was the father of J.R. Ewing.
Father or mother?
I mean, mother. You're right, mother.
Played
She
a
was-
boy, but
Yeah, I got them mixed up. She was the mother of the actor that played J.R. Ewing. He was also Lieutenant or Colonel Nelson. He was Colonel Nelson in I Dream of Jeannie. So that's another little bit of trivia for you. That's pretty cool. I think this history thing that we're trying to do, these little clips, are things that we're going to do on a regular basis. So if you're liking it, please make sure you let us know. Hey, Max, the carpet doesn't need a hole in it. You can stop digging now. But I have a few things of trivia history that I'd like to share with you also. Before I do, though, Hellfire, did you come up with anything?
No, Captain, unfortunately, I didn't.
All right. I know you were busy working today, right? Yes. So let me read a couple of the ones I pulled off the internet that I thought were very interesting and appropriately related, most of it, to us as pirates and or to our area. Pardon me. That's just a bad cough from talking for 2 days straight at the Pirate Museum. It's not COVID. The year is 1600. I love the history. Please keep doing it. You're very right. We sure will, Christy. The year is 1600. The day is December 31st. And Queen Elizabeth I grants the first charter to the East India Trading Company, the company of merchants of London trading into the East Indies. As I was doing some research on them, I found out that they were one of the most corrupt British companies in the history of the world. They were very, very corrupt. But that's the East India Trading Company. And many of you may know, there's their coat of arms. Many of you may recognize the name because the East India Trading Company was something that Jack Sparrow was making a deal with. And there's their logo. And many people use that logo on their pirate things when they're doing pirate stuff. So they had a complete hold on trade between England and the rest of the world through the Indian Ocean. And in fact, at one point in time, were the largest conglomeration of trading in the history of England. Not so much now. And here's an ironic twist. The East India Trading Company, as we know it, ended in 1847. But it still exists. And the East India Trading Company is now owned by a person of Indian descent right out of India. Talk about getting over on them. That's kind of like all us white people having to pay all the Indians back by going to their casinos. But that's a different story. You know how it is if I'm going to be funny, right? So, how about this one? December 29th, 1609. Captain John Harris and Captain John Jennings and 15 other pirates were hanged on Execution Dock in London, England. 17 pirates hung that day on December 29th. And one other point of note, they were actually Irish pirates.
Oh, no.
Yes, they were Irish pirates. Go figure. How about 1670, December of 1670? Henry Morgan set sail for the Isthmus of Panama. I didn't give you a picture for that one, and I'm sorry I wasn't supposed to read it either, Davey. I didn't remember my own command. Now let's go to 1695, December. Now you can pop that one up. William Kidd receives a letter of marque to attack the French in the name of the English and makes a mistake, a very grave mistake, and he attacks a ship that is Dutch, that is an ally of the English, and they capture Kidd, put him on trial, and he's found guilty, and he's hung in 1701 at Execution Dock in London. Here's one for all of us. It's December 31st, 1793, and Thomas Jefferson resigns as Secretary of the State. The future U.S. president resigns and President George Washington no longer talks to him anymore. The reason he resigns, Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson were at odds over all kinds of things government, but their opposition was a part of the French Revolution, and Hamilton wanted to consolidate the debt, the war debt, and to create a national bank. Thomas Jefferson refused and resigned over it, and that is this day in history, December 31st, 1793. Here's one that hits closer to home. Ladies and gentlemen, December 28th, 1835 to 1842, but December 28th starts the Second Seminole Indian Wars. Seminole Indians protesting their forced removal kill Major Dade and 100 of his men. Another group led by Osceola kills General Wiley Thompson and 4 others. And on December 25th through December 28th of 1837, the Battle of Okeechobee. And there's Okeechobee, Lake Okeechobee right there. Now, I'm related to Major Dade in my family tree somehow, some way. And I have other family members that were involved in the Seminole Indian Wars also. And the last one I have here is from the Civil War. It's December of 1862. This day is the 30th. And the Union's first ironclad warship hits a bad storm off the coast of North Carolina. The caulking around the gun turret begins to break apart as the seas get rougher. The ship takes on water. The caulking amongst everything else begins to break apart, and the ship falls apart and sinks to the bottom of the ocean. And that's this week in history that we like to share with anybody. Please let everyone know when you will be doing daily tours at the museum. Oh, Betsy. Hello, Betsy. I will. So, since we're talking history, let's do that. So tomorrow and Wednesday, a crew member that you know, Mr. Leon, goes by Quartermaster Pugh. He will be doing tours in the museum tomorrow and Wednesday. I will be doing tours in the museum Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then we probably will not have a pirate in the museum on Sunday, mostly because our crew is having their big meeting. The tours are 10:30, 12, 1:30, and 3 o'clock on all those days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you have family from out of town and you want to come down and hang out at the museum, what better than to have fun on a tour? I had 4 tours today, and I had over 50 people on each one of my tours today. It was crowded down there. If any of you send me a message, though, and you come down on Thursday or Friday, or even Saturday, and you come down for my 3 o'clock tour, I like to go and have a spot of rum somewhere when I'm done. And I'm always looking for people to go and have a drink with me if they'd like. So anybody that comes to my 3 o'clock tour, you might be invited to come drink a little bit with Captain Mayhem. We look forward to having you there. So we do those public tours every day on holidays and weekends. There you have it. The Pirate and Treasure Museum. We just celebrated our 11th year in St. Augustine, which means that I'm now coming up this weekend coming up, celebrating my 11th year with the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum. 11 years somebody has put up with me. I'll leave it at that. Now you've been to the Pirate Museum, right?
Yes.
We've been on your tours.
And you've been on my tours. They're not bad. They're pretty. They're okay.
Very informative. The thing that I like is you dispel a lot of myths from the movie.
Right. We take away all the myths of pirating and destroy your hopes and dreams. Walking the plank never happened anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Pirates on a pirate's shoulder, for the most part, may have only been for 2 reasons: monetary or food, not pets. Pirates didn't stand around saying "arr" all the time. And I had a little boy come up to me and said, "What did one pirate say to the other pirate when they were sitting at the dinner table?" And I didn't know. And I said, what did he say? And the little boy said, "Are you going to eat all of that?" And his dad told me he just made the joke up. It was cute. 6-year-old boy. I love children at times. But ladies and gentlemen, you can come and watch the tour, take the tour with us, be a part of what we're doing, and we have a good time. I enjoy the tours. And I'll throw a plug of my own here, because I did comedy clubs for so long and entertainment as a magician and comedian. I treat each one of my tours as kind of like a mini comedy club routine. We have some fun, we tell some jokes, I tease people, people tease me back, and we have a good time. All at the same time, people are learning history. And I'll lay this bet that all teachers will agree with me that nobody learns anything unless they are enjoying themselves and having a good time. So that's why we have fun with these tours. You have fun, you laugh, you giggle, and you walk away. Even if you don't remember everything we talked about, there'll be something that sticks in your craw, and you'll understand it, and you'll have a good time. So it's a joy for me to be with the Pirate and Treasure Museum for 11 years. Being a part of the family of Pat Croce and all his family has been a joy for 11 years. And I hope to continue on for another 11. God, I'll be old. What's your favorite part of the Pirate Museum?
A lot of the actual artifacts, I believe. They had an old pirate flag in there that was there. And that's what gave me the inspiration to fly the one for the crew. And there's a lot of neat stuff in the museum that you're not going to see anywhere else, I don't think.
And I had somebody that came up to me after my tour yesterday, because I was doing tours yesterday, and they came up to me. Don't miss tour, top of my list. Thank you, Christy. And he came to me and he said, I didn't want to go into the museum. I thought it was going to be hokey. And we were in there for about 20 minutes, and you started your tour, and we took your tour. It's the best thing we've done in St. Augustine. And I get that a lot. I get a lot of people that say it's the best tour. And by no means am I wanting to downplay any tour guides, because I know some great tour guides here. Probably one of my favorite tour guides is Jan Rapp. Another one is Morgan. Both of them know they're my favorites. And I never want to downplay any. There are great tours and there are great tour guides throughout the entire city. Both the green trolleys and the red trolleys have wonderful tour guides on board their trains as they drive along and tell you about the city of St. Augustine. everybody is working towards one goal, and that's to make all tourists have the best time they can have in St. Augustine and learn history at the same time. So when you're here in St. Augustine, you got to take a tour, and we're hoping to do some highlight spots. And that's something else. I think I'll kind of slip in a secret. The boys there and I have talked about doing what we're going to call the Captain's Parlay. We're going to pick a location downtown, set up a couple of cameras, leave the camera stationary in full view of the tourists, and sit there and drink a beer or a shot of rum or smoke a cigar, and let tourists just come up and sit and take pictures and talk to us and tell us what they think. And take a video of all of that, pare it down a bit, and then use it as something we'll use that we'll post on our YouTube channel, and it'll be called Captain's Parlay. Some kind of a discussion amongst tourists with the pirates. And we hope that we can do it at least once a month and put it up there and let people see what tourists think about us. So there you have it. It was a great idea, and I really think that I'll give the credit to Davey, because I believe it was Davey's idea. So we'll give credit to Davey Longwood for such a great idea. Now he just has to follow through with it. So I didn't get a best New Year's Eve memory out of either of you, did I? Now I put you on the spot. Do we have anything?
Not in the chat. We don't.
I'm talking about you, my friend. What's your best memory? You haven't been around long enough to have any memories for New Year's Eve.
I'm still a bit of a youngin', so I haven't experienced much yet, but I enjoy sleeping in.
Ah, very good. What about you, Mr. Longwood?
One of my best memories is my wife Dawn and I. We would always go over to our friend's house on New Year's Eve, another couple, and we'd just be playing cards and games and stuff until we ring in the new year. And we had done this every year for more years than I can remember. And that's always been what we've done.
I like to play cards, as long as there's money on the table and everybody knows how to play poker.
Yeah, but nobody wants to play with you because you're a magician.
Yeah, well, I don't cheat. I don't cheat. I don't have to cheat. All right. Well, we hope everybody has good memories, and if you have the chance, make more memories with this New Year's Eve coming up. It's a good way to start off the new year, 2022. We do want to ask one question, though. Davey and I and Mr. Hellfire there have come up with a few ideas on things that we'd like to do to merchandise our podcast. We have a couple of ideas. Davey came up with one today, and he made a mock-up for us.
Yeah.
Can you show that, Mr. Longwood?
T-shirt. So this would our cartoon podcast logo would be on the front pocket, and on the back would be our credo. Part of the podcast, part of the crew, always.
I'm on the fence on that one. Davey likes it a lot, and I'm on the fence on it because I wonder if that would actually sell, if people would be interested in it. I think if people were wearing it, it might elicit conversation as to what does that mean, what does that mean. So maybe it would be a good seller. But it's one of our ideas. We're also going to have a T-shirt made with our cartoon characters on there. You happen to have Powder Monkey cartoon character? And or me and you. I don't think we have one of Hellfire just yet.
We don't have one of Hellfire yet.
Well, if you can pop one of them up there, or both of them, or all three of them, that would be great. But we're thinking of that. We have some other ideas for shot glasses, challenge coins. You like the T-shirt, Christy? So we've got some ideas, but if anybody of our listeners and watchers have some ideas, throw them at us. Because I might think, ooh, that's cool. I'd buy a dozen of those. But everybody else might say, that sucks. And now I'm stuck with 3 or 4 dozen because nobody wants to buy them. So we're always doing T-shirts within our crew, but I have an ungodly amount of extra T-shirts still sitting around. So we're going to be having to figure a way to get rid of them.
How about a tankard?
A tankard would be good. We're thinking of that. a couple of things like pictures and plaques and things like that. And we're also thinking of a membership also, where you can be a member of our crew for a membership fee of a monthly fee that helps support what we're doing. But you get certain things. Oh, there's Captain Mayhem. Look at that. There's the cartoon of Captain Mayhem. That's a pretty good one. And there's Davy. Doesn't he look like such a little boy? And ball caps. Yeah, that's doable. But I really am opposed to baseball caps for two reasons. One, none of us play baseball. And two, I really get frustrated with people that wear their baseball caps backwards. Especially grown men over 26 years old. There's Powder Monkey. There's a good one for Powder Monkey.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. I think that might make a good t-shirt also. But if you want
Made into
ball
a flag.
what's that?
It's made into a flag.
It is. We do have a flag for it. So we might consider ball hats, but I might have to put some kind of a caveat on there that you have to sign a piece of paper saying that you can't wear it backwards. You can't wear it as a dress hat. All these things that would make it appropriate to wear at certain times. And if you're not going to play baseball, at least act like you know what the game is all about. But we're open to ideas from anybody. I see things down at the Pirate Museum in the gift store, and I think, oh, that would be a nice something for. So we're working on it. Many of you have seen the bottles that Annette makes for me for the different times we.
Yes.
Those are really nice.
We're thinking about one of those bottles with our comic podcast logo on it. We think that would be kind of cool. And then once you get the bottle, you can actually put your own rum in it and have a good time. So we're thinking of all kinds of things. We also are going to start soliciting for sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight was kind of a grab bag of everything we needed to do or wanted to do. So we're looking for 10 sponsors. We actually have 3 already that are considering, so we only need 7 more. Sponsorship is $150. That includes the entire year from February 1st of 2022 to January 31st of 2023. It's a 12-month commitment, and it's only $150 plus some kind of maybe a merchandise idea, a ticket to free drinks or free food that we can use when we're talking about your company to give away to some of our listeners and promote more business for your area. For the $150, we are going to put you on our banner that shows all of our sponsors. And we've already begun that banner right there. We'll play that or set that up at the end of every show. So for 52 weeks, you'll get your name on our show for the $150. We also are going to do a ribbon spread or whatever you call it along the bottom of the screen that we can put information on. And every once in a while, we just put that information about your company, your restaurant, your bar, how to get in touch with you, your website address, your phone number, whatever it is you want, and have that scrolling like it is right there, and a way for you to contact the St. Augustine Swashbucklers and or the podcast right now, and that's through our email. And what we would do is also email. I'm sorry, I'm as bad as the president, aren't I? Oh man, I just saw that come up and started reading it. Hey, damn. What we'd like to do is every sponsor of the 10 sponsors that we get, we'll go for 12 if we can, but 10 is our goal. We'll give you 1 month that one episode in that month will be devoted entirely to your business. So you get at least 30 to 40 minutes of airtime, whether it's in person in the studio or videos that we come down and make for you to show off about your event, and or you get to be one of the squares on our screen. And instead of it just being 3 of us, there'll be a 4th one, and it could be you. And we can do it from wherever you're at, as long as you can get our StreamYard attachment. So we offer what we think is quite a worthwhile package.
It's an excellent deal.
And I think we can help people out. And the amount of money that 10 sponsors would give us, 10 to 12 sponsors would give us at $150 is about enough to pay all the fees that we have to pay for the whole year, because it's not just the StreamYard we have to pay for. When we use music, we have to pay for the music. We can't just put it on there. YouTube and Facebook will come along and turn it off for you. So we pay our fees to use the music. We pay our licensing fees and all the other fees that go with this. So none of us, the three of us, there's no paycheck in this the first year. We're doing it for the love of it and the hopefulness that what we do is going to be fun and benefit. And that's one of the other reasons that the Swashbucklers are attached to the podcast now. Why we're doing a Meet the Crew, why we want the crew to be a part of the podcast, because anything that we can bring in, we're going to help do the charity work with them. So the podcast, and because I'm part of both, it's kind of hard for me to draw a line and say, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm going to do it all. So we hope to get lots and lots of people. We're at 152, right, Mr. Longwood?
Aye.
Do you have a way to check and see if it's changed? Because over the last day or two, it was 152. If it's gone up even once, I'll stand up and dance. And he could lie and say it's 153. I don't have any way to check up on him.
It looks like we currently have 151 subscribers.
We lost somebody. Well, in that case, one of you has to get shot in the leg. I don't see either of you volunteering. Oh, well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you will continue to join with us. Do you have anything you want to tell people about the podcast or the crew? Anything at all? Tell them away, because we have 11 open spots in our crew we'd like to fill.
It's a fantastic crew. The reason I joined it was because of all the charity work that they do. But not only that, it's fun doing it. And we've made great friends. It really is a fantastic group of people. I mean, I can't think of a better group of people to work with. And so I am very proud to be part of this crew. If anybody would like to join and have fun, but also do good for the community, this is a good chance to do it, and you'll have a good time doing it.
What do you think, Lauren?
I think this is probably the best crew in the area. I can't speak for like Tampa or Miami because I've never dealt
Right.
with them. But out of all the crews that are in this area, I think we've got the most recognition. And I think we have the best crew that can go out there and actually do the work. And not just, it's not a party crew. We have good times, and I don't drink anymore, but Melinda will make up for me. But but the crew will go out and do a lot of charity work, but they also have a good time watching you do your magic, and like the Taberna. I remember one time we were down there, and a little girl asked you to do another trick right after you finish your show at the Colonial Quarter. And you put the quarters in her hand, you put 2 quarters in there, and you made the other 3 that I gave you disappear, and all of a sudden all 5 are back in her hand. I still haven't figured that one out. But it's fun to be around you. It's fun to be around Dave and everybody else in the crew because you have that camaraderie. And I think it's a really, really good crew to be part of.
We took the crew to 150 people at one point in time. But we've now decided that the limitation, and I say we, I don't make the decisions for the crew. I throw out suggestions, but the crew votes on everything, which is exactly the way pirates in the golden age of piracy operated. The crew had a say in everything they did. So I throw out suggestions. The crew will vote for them. Sometimes they tell me, that sucks. It's not going to work. And I go with what the crew says. I believe that now that we've limited ourselves to 50, and we're at 39 or 43, it keeps fluctuating because we have a couple of people that are spouses of crew members that are not full-fledged crew members, but they still come and support and help us out. So we have at least 10 open spots. If anybody's interested in joining our crew, the January 2nd meeting this Sunday coming up is open to anybody that would like to join our crew. Drop us a line via Facebook. Let us know you're interested. We'd love to have you come out and meet the crew. The crew does vote on you, though. Just because you come out and are part of the crew, or just because you send us a letter and say, hey, I want to be a part of the crew, doesn't mean it's going to happen. The crew votes on you, and you have to get 75% in favor of you. Three quarters. It's been a long 2 days. It's actually been a long 38 days. 3/4 vote in your favor. So if you come out to meet the crew, it's to your best advantage to walk around and introduce yourselves, and don't be a wallflower and don't be shy. Talk to everybody you can and make sure they know who you are. And that's all about being a part of our crew. So we hope that we'll bring some more members in. And this Sunday of our meeting is not just a meeting, it's a social. And the crew has done so well that the captain is making sure that all the burgers and the dogs and the fixins, that's on the crew. That's on me, the captain, to thank the crew for being there. But some of the crew are actually bringing dishes out. I understand we're going to get some daddle pepper mac and cheese. We're going to get some chili. So we're going to have a good spread, and the weather is supposed to be wonderful. So it'll be a social time, and that's important. I consider all the people in this crew my family, and I know that I can ask them for help if I need it. I don't do a very good job of asking for help, but I know that if I need it, they're there, and they can help us out. But it's a family, and I think that's one of the things that makes us strong. We'd like to have more members join us now, and if you're interested in being a pirate, best opportunity right now. If you're interested in sponsoring our show, send us a message. If you're interested in being a special guest because you have something you want to talk about, send us a message. This whole podcast is not about us just talking about history all the time, although that will be a major portion of our show. But it is about sharing and using this as a vehicle to continue doing all the things we do. And it'll be a grand vehicle, but only with your help. So, ladies and gentlemen, I see by the clock on the wall, it is time to say goodnight.
Oh, well, not quite yet, Captain. I'm not going to be here for New Year's Eve, so I did one of my famous little jib jabs for them for their amusement.
Go ahead, play that. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, from all of us at the podcast, from all of us at the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, we hope you have a safe New Year's Eve, a prosperous begin to your 2022. I thank my guests and my fellow crew members and my family for being here to support our podcast. We thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
And we look forward to many, many more. Go ahead, Mr. Davey.
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew.
Always. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, mates.